Hello friend, I am Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to Java series part 28. In a last video we saw access modifier. In this video we are going to discuss about a nested class. In a inner class or a nested class is a class which is a declare inside a class or a interface, just like a method variable. Whatever we declare inside a class, just like a method variable, we can declare a inner classes also. Nested classes represent a special type of relationship that it is can access all the member outer class. Okay, data member or method all outer class member it can access, including private member. Nested class are used to develop more readable and maintainable code because it's a logically group class and interface in a one place. Code optimization, it required less code to write. Okay, in such cases we don't need to write a separate class for implementation. We can simply write a inner class and we can write their implementation. Okay, there you can see in this diagram we have a first nested class. In a nested class we have a two types. One is a non-static inner class and second one is a static nested class. In a non-static inner class we have a inner class, we have a method local inner class, and we have an anonymous inner class. We will see each and every classes in this video. In a non-static nested class, here we have three types: member inner class, anonymous inner class, and a local inner class. The member inner class we can declare inside a class but outside a method, just like an instance variable. Anonymous inner class, a class created for implementing interface or extending class. Its name is declared by a compiler. We don't provide any name. Anonymous inner class. Then we have a local inner class, a class create. Then we have a local inner class, a class created within a method, just like a local variable. We can create a local inner class. Then we have a static nested class. Static nested class means we can create a static nested class inside a class with using a static keyword. Then we have a interface. We can declare a nested interface also. Inside we can declare inside a class nested interface, or we can create a inside a interface we can create a nested interface. Okay, let's see one by one. Member inner class, a class created within a class and outside a method. Let's understand definition. A non-static class that is created inside a class but outside method is called a member inner class. The class compiled create two class file in case of inner class. If we use a inner class, if we declare inner class, then compile create a two file. The class file name of inner class is outer class name $inner class name. For access inner class, we have to create an instance of outer class. Okay, for accessing inner class, first we have to create an outer class instance, then only we can access inner class. We can't declare static member in a non-static member class. Member class is our non-static inner class. We can access private member in this inner class. We can also access private member in this inner class. Okay, let's see practical. Let's perform a member inner class practical. For that I'll simply create, first I'll create here one package. Okay, separate package, and I'll give this package name nested class. Okay, nested class. Inside this package we will create one class. Okay, let's create a class, and this class name is a part 28. Okay, here we will simply create a one class, and I'll give test outer class. This is our outer class, and inside the outer class here we define a simply two variable. One is the public and one is the private. Public int a equal to 10, then private int b equal to 20. Okay, these two variable. Now I want to create a inner class. Okay, how can we create inner class? We simply class test inner. Okay, this one is our inner class. Now I want to create one method inside the inner class. I'll simply create here public void m1. Okay, this m1 method, and let's print here system.out.syso control space system.out.println. This is inner class inner class m1 method. Okay, let's save this. So I want to access this m1 method. So how can we access this m1 method? For accessing this inner class, first we have to create an instance of outer class. Then we, for wrapper this outer class instance, we can create an inner class instance. Okay, let's see here how can we create. I'll simply create here main method. In a main method, I'll create this outer class object first. Instance means object. Okay, outer class test outer. I'll simply define here to. Okay, equal to new test outer. Okay, test outer. This is our outer class object. Now I want to create this inner class object. So how can we create? We will simply write first test outer class dot inner class. Okay, because first we have to access this, then we have to go inside this test outer class, then we can access this test inner class. Okay, here we simply create test inner. Okay, ti equal to, now I want to create object for referring this object, this outer object. So that's why I have to first add here 2 dot new, then test inner. Okay, now you can see here we create inner class object. How can we create? First we create outer class object, then we refer this outer class object dot new equal to inner class. This is our inner class object. Now I want to store this inner class object in inner class type. Okay, that's why here we simply first here we simply declare outer class dot inner class. For accessing inner property, inner classes, we have to use outer class dot inner class. Now I want to call this m1 method. So how can we do that? We simply use this inner class object ti dot m1. Okay, and let's save and run this. You can see we got here output. This is inner class m1 method. Okay, in this way we can directly access, create a object, and then we can directly access this inner class property. Now as we saw, inner class have a special relation with the outer class. We can access outer class private member also inside the inner class. Let's call this to one public and one private member. Here I'll simply print system.out.sy. Okay, sy so system.out.println, and I'll simply print a. Okay, let's print here a, then system.syso control space, then b. Okay, let's save this, run this. You can see here we got 10 20. 10 is the public and 20, this b variable is the private. We can access private variable also inside inner classes. Okay, and we can access this inner class. First we have to create outer class object, then we have to create this inner class object. Okay, now we have to check how class file structure created. For that I'll simply go here in a workspace, Eclipse workspace. Then here we have a project code with Naval. Inside this project, here we have a two folder. One is the bin folder and other is the source folder. Inside the source folder, here we have our all Java file. Okay, all Java file present inside a source folder, and inside the bin folder here dot class file present. Okay, you can see here we create a nested class package. You can see here we have a nested class package, and here we have a one file part 28. In that file here we create a one, then here we create a test outer and test inner class. Okay, you can see in this nested class package here we have a part 21 class. Okay, this one is a part 21 class, then test outer class. Okay, this test outer class and this test inner class. The test inner class file name generate test outer dollar test inner class, outer class name dollar inner class name. Okay, you can see in this way we can use a member inner classes. Then next one we have a anonymous inner class, a class created for implementing interface or extending a class. Its name is declared by compiler. Okay, its name decided by compiler. We can't decide that anonymous inner class. Anonymous inner class, a class that have a no name, is not an anonymous inner class. We can't define that class name. It's called anonymous inner class. We can create a two-way anonymous inner class. Class may be abstract or concrete, and we can use the interface. Okay, let's see in a practical. I'll simply create here one new class. Okay, let's create here one new class. I'll simply create here class part 28-1. Okay, part 28-1. Now let's create here one default class, and I'll give this class name test1. Okay, inside of this class we declare two methods. One is the abstract and one is a normal method. I'll simply define here public. Okay, public void m1. This m1 method is the abstract method, and public void m2. This method is a normal implemented method. Okay, here simply we pass system.out. Okay, let's so control space, and here pass m2 method. Okay, now here we didn't provide an implementation. That means we have to make this method abstract. Okay, let's add here abstract keyword, abstract. And if any method we declare abstract inside a class, that class should be abstract. Okay, that means we have to make this class as well abstract. Now I want to call this method. I want to call this m1 method and m2 method. Okay, I want to call this m1 method without extending this class. So how can we do that? With using anonymous class we can able to do that. Okay, first create this class object. First declare here main method. Inside a main class, here create this test1 t equal to new test. Okay, test1. You can see, you can got here Eclipse provide here anonymous inner class. Eclipse know this class is an anonymous inner class. We have to provide this m1 implementation. Okay, if you click here, you can see one method already have a implementation, and one method is the abstract method. Here we simply provide an abstract method implementation during object creation. For that we don't need to extend this parent class. Okay, here simply provide some implementation so. Okay, so system.out.println, and this is m1 method. Okay, let's save. Now how can we call this m1 method? Here we have an object. Simply we can use object and we can call t.m1 method. Okay, let's save this, run this. Okay, let's see output. You can see this is a m1 method. Here we simply add this code. This is a anonymous inner class. This is a class. This is not like a block or something. But here we didn't provide a name. And who provide a name? Compiler only provide a name. Okay, we will see that also. Now you can see here we use a abstract class or concrete class, and as well as we can use a interface also for an anonymous inner class. Okay, let's declare one interface. I'll simply create here one interface, and I'll give here test2. Okay, this interface name is a test2, and here we simply define one method void m3. Okay, that's it. Now I want to create this for implementation this m3. I want to create anonymous inner class. So how can we create? Simply here we declare, after this simply here we declare test2 t, or we can say tt equal to new test2. Okay, and here we have to define an anonymous inner class. Inside of this class we have to simply override this m3 method. Okay, here simply provide public void m3 and add here implementation, and let's type here system.out.println. This is m3 method. Okay, m3 method. Now after this bracket we have to add semicolon. Okay, in every time we have to add semicolon. You can see there is no error. For accessing this m3, again we have to call tt.m3. okay, tt.m3. let's save this, run this. You can see here we got m1 method and m3 method. Simply here we create a one interface. For a provider implementation, here we use an anonymous inner class. What is use of inner class? You understand, we use inner classes for a provider implementation at the object creation time. Okay, here we creating object, that time only we are providing implementation. For format this code, I'll simply press Ctrl Shift F. You can see it's a proper formatting. Eclipse provide that. Now let's understand file structure, what file structure create. Okay, let's go our nested class. You can see here we simply create a part 28-1 class, and then we create a test1 class, then we create a interface test2. okay, now you can see here part 28-1. okay, this is our main class part 28-1. then we create here test1 class. You can see here we have a test1 class, then we create a test2 interface. okay, this one is a test2 interface, and here we simply provide two inner classes, one for a m1 method implementation and second for a m3 method implementation. You can see here these two classes is a anonymous inner class, and compiler provide those class name at a compile time. You can see part 28-1 $1. This is our first anonymous inner class. okay, and $2, this is our second anonymous inner class. okay, here we didn't provide a name, but compiler generate a name, compiler only provide a name. Now I think you understand what is the anonymous inner class and what is use of anonymous inner class. okay, let's move on to next point. Next we have a local inner class. okay, this local inner class also part of non-static nested class. A class create within a method. Understand definition. A class created inside a method is called a local inner class in a Java. If you want to invoke a method of a local inner class, you must instantiate the class inside a method. okay, let's see the practical. I'll simply create here one new class. okay, let's create a class part 28-2 and hit the finish. Now let's create a one class. We already created test1 and test2. This time I'll create test3. okay, inside the test3 we'll simply define one method. I'll simply define void public void. okay, public void m3 or m4. inside this m4 method, you can see in this local inner class we can declare a local inner class inside method. okay, that's why first I create here one method, then we will create inside this method one inner class. let's give class name test3-1. okay, this is a inner class name. Now inside this inner class we can simply write one method public void m1. okay, here we simply create a m1 method, and this is, and here type system.out.println. this is m1. okay, this is m1 inner class method. okay, now I want to print this message, I want to call this method. So how can we do that? Let's see. First we have to create this test3. okay, test3 instance, test3 object. okay, that's why I'll simply define here main method. inside the main method we will create this test3 object. okay, let's create here test3 t3. okay, t3 equal to new test3. okay, test3. now you can see here we simply created this test3 object. For using this t3 we can access this m4 method. Okay, simply use t3 dot m4. Okay, now let's save, run this. You can see here we got nothing, because here we call this m3 method, but here we didn't create this test3-1 class object. For accessing this inner class and inner class member, we have to create this inner class object. I'll simply create here inner class object. Here test3-1 t1 equal to new test3-1. Okay, here we simply create this test3-1 object. Now here we can call this t1 dot m1. Now you can see here we simply call this parent class object, this main outer class object. Then we simply call this t3 dot m4 method. Okay, inside this m4 method, here we define a local inner class, and after that here we simply create this local inner class object, and we call this local inner class inside this m1 method. Okay, let's save and run this. Now you can see here we got test. This is a m1 inner class method. Now let's see the file structure. Here we have three classes. One is a part 28-2, then we have a test3, then we have a test3-1. Okay, let's see. Here we have a part 28-2 class file. Then here we have a, okay, let's see. Then here we have a test3 class. Okay, let's see. Here we have a test3 class, and then we have a inside a m4 method. Here we have a test3-1 class. Okay, here you can see test3$1 test3-1 class, this file name. Now you can see this file structure for a local inner classes. Okay, now here we saw non-static nested classes, these three type. Now we have a static nested class. Okay, let's understand what is the static nested class. A static class created within a class with using a static keyword. A class created inside a class with static keyword is called a static nested class. It can't access non-static member in a static class. It can access static data member of outer class including private. As we saw in a non-static can't access static member. The same way static can't access non-static member. Okay, let's create one class for that. I'll simply create a new package for a static. Okay, let's create a new package, nested static. Okay, simply give name nested static. Inside here we simply create one class part 28 dash static. Okay, part 28 dash static. Here we simply create a one class, default class test1. Okay, this is a separate package, that's why it's not throwing error. If I declare a same package, this test1 in a previous package, then it's throwing error. It's showing already exist, but we create here separate package for this static. Okay, here we simply create one variable. Here we simply create int a equal to 10. Okay, this default variable. Then here we create a private int b equal to 20. Okay, now here we simply create one inner static class test1-1. okay, this is the inner class, and this is our static class. That's why I have to define here static. Okay, static. Now let's call here system dot, let's create here one method main. Okay, let's create here public void m1, this method, and let's add here system dot out dot println. This is m1 method. Okay, this is m1 method. Now let's try this. Now let's try to access this two member. Okay, I'll simply access this two member inside this m1 method. For that I'll simply type here system.out.println and add here a. Now you can see it's throwing error. Okay, because this is a static area. Okay, this is our static area. We are trying to access this non-static member inside this static. Now you can observe here we can create a non-static member inside a static, but we can't access outside non-static member inside a static class. Okay, you can see this method is a non-static method. We can create inside this static class. Okay, but we can't access this method outside this class because we can't create this class instance, we can't create this class object. Okay, let's define this method also, static void m1. Now let's create this int a static. Now you can see error is gone. Here this variable type is a static, and here also we define a, this is our static class. We can access static member inside a static class. Now let's try to access this b. Okay, let's add here, instead of a, here add a b. Now it's throwing error. Change b to static. Okay, let's change this static. Okay, now you can see error is gone. Now I want to call this m1 method, this static m1 method. So how can we access this static m1 method? For that we don't need to create an instance because this is a static area. Okay, static class. We can't create a static class instance. Okay, so for accessing that I'll simply create here in our main class, I'll create here main method, main control space enter, and I'll simply access this m1 method using this class. First we have to access this test1 class. Inside the test1 we have a test1-1. Okay, for accessing this I'll simply add here dot test1-1, and inside this class we have a m1 method. Okay, this m1 method, that's it. Okay, let's save this, run this, and you can see you got your output. Here we don't need to create an instance, here we don't need to create an object for access this. For accessing this m1 method we have a simple step. We have to first add outer class dot inner class and dot this inner class member. Okay, that's it. Let's see the file structure. Okay, we will see simply file structure. Here we created this nested static package. Here we simply define this part 21-static class. Okay, this is our main class. You can see. Then we create this test1 outer class. Then we create test1-1 inner class. Okay, this test1 outer class. Then test1 $test1-1 inner class. File structure is the same for a non-static and static inner classes. You can see here is also same test1 $test1-1 class. Okay, now I want to show one more thing. I'll simply create one package. For that I'll simply create interface nested interface. Okay, nested interface. Okay, here we simply create one class inside this. Okay, let's create a class. I'll simply give test1 this class name, and here we create one interface. I'll give this interface name is a demo1, and inside this interface we can create an interface. We will create one interface demo1-1. Okay, this is a interface inside the interface. That means we can say this is a nested interface. Inside this nested interface we will simply create one method void m1. Okay, now we will create inside this interface one class, nested class. I'll simply create here class and give class name demo1-2. Okay, this is our nested class, and here also we define void. Here we simply define public. Okay, public void m2, and here we pass implementation also syso system.out.println, and here we simply add this is m2 method, m2 method. Okay, that's it. Here we define, here we simply declare one outer interface, and inside outer interface here we define one inner interface and one inner class. Okay, let's save this. Now how can we access this, how can we extend this inner interface and this inner class? Now I want to extend this inner interface as well as this inner class. Okay, how can we do that? So let's, for accessing this interface we have to add here implement. Okay, I'll simply add here implement first declare outer interface demo1. Okay, then inner interface, here we have a demo1-1. okay, demo1-1. okay, this is the implementation. Now I want to extend, now let's override this method first, unimplemented method. You can see here we got this m1 method. Now I want to extend this class. Okay, this class present inside interface. Okay, for that extending this class we can't access directly. You can see here I'll try demo1.2. okay, you can see it's throwing error because we are here targeting class, we are not targeting interface. Okay, we are targeting here class, that's why we can't implement class. We have to add extend keyword for a class. Now here we simply give the extend. You can see here we don't get a extend keyword because there is a sequence. First we have to add extend, then we have to add implement. Okay, that means here we have to add extend. In extend first we have to access this demo1, then inside the demo1 we have a class 1.1. you can see here we got 1.1, but this 1.1 is a interface, we can't use this 1.1 for a extend. Now we have to access this class, here add 1.2. now you can see there is no error. If interface, inside the interface, if a interface have a inner interface, for access that interface we have to add implement, first declare outer interface dot inner interface. But inside the interface if we have a class, then first we have to declare this outer interface and then we have to target this inner class, and directly we are targeting class, that means we are extending class. Okay, here we are targeting this interface. Now I will show one more thing. I'll create one more class here. Okay, I'll create a simply one class here, or we can simply inside this class, inside this inner class we will define a one more inner interface. Okay, one more inner interface. I'll simply copy this interface and I'll change here demo2-1. okay, this is a very complex program. You can see here we have a first interface, then here we have a class, inside a class also we have a interface. Now how can we access this interface? I'll simply give here method name m1, m2, m3 or m4 we give. Now I want to access this interface, so how can we access this interface? Okay, for that we can simply add here comma, first this interface name. Okay, this interface name, then this class name. Okay, then this class name dot this class name dot this interface name. Okay, you can see, and simply override that method. If present inside a class interface, then also we simply targeting this thing, we are just ignoring this thing. This two thing is for only access this thing, we are directly targeting this thing. If this last one is a interface, then we have to add implement. Okay, this last one is a class, then we have to add extend. Okay, okay, let's save this and let's see what kind of file structure we got here. Here simply add one short message syso, and I'll simply add here m1, then here syso here SYSO control space and add here M4. Now for calling this class we have to first create an object. I'll simply create a main method and then create a object, this test1 object. Okay, let's create here test1 object, test1 t equal to new test1. Okay, and simply provide here t dot m1. Okay, we have a m1, then t dot m2. Okay, then t dot m3. Okay, this, okay, we don't have a m3, we have only m4. Okay, t dot m1, m2 and m4. Okay, let's run this program. You can see here we got m1, then this is a m2 method, then m4 method. Okay, here we simply define one interface. Inside interface here we define one inner interface, then inside interface here we define one inner class. Inside a class here we define a one inner interface. Okay, and we saw how can we access those inner classes and inner interface. Okay, let's see file structure. What kind of file structure we got here? We can see here we create a nested interface, this new package. Here you can see here we have this test1, our main class. Here we got this test1, then here we create a demo1, this main interface, demo1 this interface. You can see here we got demo1, then here we create this interface demo1-1, this inner interface. Here you can see here we got demo1 $demo1-1 class. Okay, this class file for that. Then here we declare one demo1-2 class. You can see here demo1 $demo1-2 class, and inside this demo1-2 class again we declare one inner interface. Okay, you can see this class file create for that demo1, first demo1, then this demo1-2. You can see here demo1-2, then $demo1-2-1. Okay, this. Now in this video we cover a nested non-static classes, then we cover a nested static classes, then we cover a nested interface, and how can we implement, how can we extend these interfaces, inner interfaces and inner classes. We saw everything about nested classes. If you have any doubt, any concern, then you can ask me in a comment box. We will see next topic in a next video. Till that, bye bye.